Hello and assalamu alaikum students, this is Muhammad Awais and today we are going to do some conditional formatting and learn about conditional formatting. What conditional formatting does, it actually highlights some of the cells according to the criteria we provide and format them in different way. So let's start with it. I'm gonna show you from basic to advanced examples. I have 12 examples for you. Let's start with the first example. We have some data bars. Under the home tab in Microsoft Excel 2013, you'll find the conditional formatting under the home. Let's start with it. I'm gonna highlight this, and here I want some data bars here. So this is the biggest number. I want a biggest data bar. On the basis of this reference, I will highlight the below cells. So conditional, I will go to conditional formatting, and data bars, and we can select any format we want. So I like to have this color. So if you see it, it's 415 is the biggest one, and on the basis of this it is calculating the proportion of it and highlighting it in the form of bars. So this is data bars. So in the second example, we'll be seeing the icons. I'm going to select under the icons. This is the area I'm going to select and go to conditional formatting. And if you see icon set, there are a lot of it. So let's see. I like it. So these are the shapes, indicators, or directional. I want this. This was the second example regarding conditional formatting. In the third example, we are going to highlight on the basis of standard deviation. So if you go to the conditional formatting and select on new rule, a new window will pop up with the name of new formatting rule, and we have some built-in formulas in Microsoft Excel that really give us control to highlight things. So if I go here and select this, you'll be able to see above, below, equal or above, equal or below, first one standard deviation above, one standard deviation below. If I select one standard deviation above, format this and fill with this and change the font color to a lighter one. This is it, and press OK. If you see it, it is selecting one standard deviation above it. This was the third example. So let's start with the fourth example of conditional formatting, and I'm gonna highlight this area. And what if I use a shortcut key to go to conditional formatting, because I don't really like going into the tabs, clicking using a mouse. I'm a keyboard friendly person. I'm gonna use a shortcut key that is Alt D, and I'm gonna select a new rule, and I'm gonna use a formula to see if I am minimum value of all. Highlight me with the color given below. So I'm gonna put a formula. If this cell, I'm gonna use relative referencing for this, because this formula will be stored in memory, and whenever I'm going down it will be copied in a similar way. If this cell, I'm going to use relative referencing as I said, equals to minimum of this whole area. I used a minimum function here. So format it in a different way. Let's say this one. I'm going to highlight the lowest value. OK, and press OK. And if I go again and manage rule, edit rule, and copy this function to see how it is working, Control V, and you see it, you'll find it false. You'll find true here, and that's why this is highlighted. And when I cross check this function, if the function is showing the correct cell referencing, you can simply see it D3. Go to escape and click on this cell. It is showing the right thing. So this was the example number 4. So we are going to move quickly toward example number 5. Delete this. Everything is changing because it's randomization function. Go to conditional formatting new rule, use a formula. I'm gonna use relative referencing once again, equal to max of what, this area. Okay, format it maybe yellow, and okay, and okay. So this is the maximum value in this, and once again cross check the formula if it is working perfectly fine, or we messed the formula. Escape, okay, and apply it here. You'll find only one true. This is the maximum number. Referencing, this is very much fine. So number 6 is large, and this function is a bit different than max. Max number only can calculate the maximum number within the given range. But what large function does, it not only give the biggest number, it rank the numbers. So what if I want first biggest? It is 356 and 356, it's true. And what if I want to bring the second biggest of all to 349? So I'm going to use this function in conditional formatting. I'm going to highlight this conditional formatting, new rule, use a formula. And what if this cell, and paste it. We want the top two numbers, so we should put greater than or equal to, and then the function. Okay, format it, and this is it. Okay, and apply it. Okay. Okay, moving forward to the next example, we'll go to the next worksheet. Click here, and here's the data we're going to use for the next example. And the example we are covering is highlight rows. We are going to highlight a whole row of a data using a specific criteria and highlight this. So let's say this cell equals this cell. For this we are simply locking the column, and for this we are completely locking it both ways, rows and columns and absolute reference. So what if I click, swipe it down and move it on the right side? So this is it, and we are going to use this formula to apply conditional formatting. Escape and select the data where we want to apply conditional formatting, and keep this thing in your mind. Whenever you are going to apply conditional formatting, you must select right data, because it only works in reference to the data we select. So there is a strong relationship between conditional formatting and selection area. New rule, use a formula. Click here, format, and fill it with maybe yellow color, and font maybe of red color. Okay, this is example, and okay, if you say it. What if I change the date from 11 to 6 to 11? Sure enough, it's working perfectly fine. So move it down. The next example is highlighting column using a specific criteria. We will be able to highlight these columns after applying conditional formatting. So let's get started with it. Here's the highlighted data, and no matter which cell reference you are giving, you should select the area where you want to apply conditional formatting. New rule, use a formula. I'm going to say this cell equals this cell, and we want to apply it at the whole. Go to format, fill, I want to fill it this color, maybe this color, and I want to see this color, and font to white. Okay, this is how this will look like, and apply it. Okay, sure enough, cross check it, swipe in data, and parking lot. Whenever we are changing the data here, it is changing the highlighting accordingly. So this was the example showing how to highlight columns using conditional formatting. So moving toward highlighting cell based on different cell. Let's suppose we want to highlight this column only and cells of this column only on the basis of criteria that may not be in the same column. So the criteria we are going to use is the time actually, and this is the time, and the cell referencing in the formula we are using would be from this column, but we are going to highlight this column. Go to conditional formatting, new rule, use a formula. What I want to say is, if this cell is less than this cell, highlight me with the color of something like this, and this is how this will look like, and press OK. It's working. And what if I change it from 11 p.m. no, 11 a.m. maybe. So sure enough, it's working perfectly. Next we have is a very important and exciting example of conditional formatting, and where we are going to mixing all the conditional formatting examples in it. I'm going to highlight this column, this row, and whenever these two conditional formattings are intersecting, I'm going to highlight that cell with a different color and highlight in a different way. So let's get start with it. This is the active cell, and I want to apply conditional formatting on the reference of the row header. So I will go to conditional formatting, new rule, use a formula. If this cell, so I need to lock columns only. Whenever I go down the column, I would want to change the reference from 0 to 1. So equals number of success here, and lock it both ways because it's a single cell reference, and format it, maybe fill with the red color and font to white. Okay, this is how this will look like, and okay, sure enough, it's working. And number of success, if I change it to 3, moving moving toward column once again. And what I want in this conditional formatting, I only want the cell referencing move towards the rows. So I will select this and lock only rows. So format, maybe what about yellow color, and font, we keep the font the same, and this cell is equal to probability is this one. Okay, so this is the intersecting conditional formatting cell, and this is going to be an easy one because we have both the rows and columns to find intersecting. It is an easy thing to do. Conditional formatting, new rule, and in the AND function we are going to combine both these, just like this. Then equals this, and second example was this equals this. So format maybe this color, and font maybe
black. Okay, okay. So sure enough, it's working fine. What if I change to 0.3? It's working very good. So thank you very much for watching conditional formatting example, and do not forget to subscribe my YouTube channel.